Hey everyone, Green Cricket here, doing weekly end of Gwent guides chosen by the community. And this week we're going to take a look at Spella'tael, which had its peak before midwinter, but which is still a lot of fun. We'll be looking at the card and deck list, a Mulligan guide, our gameplay plan, and analysis of each matchup, and then we look at an example match. Don't forget to vote on next week's deck guide down in the comments below, and subscribe if you like what I'm doing. And now, let's start. Spella'tael revolves around playing as many spells as possible to grow your Dol Blathanna Sentries, which gets buffed by 1 for every spell played. Those are Scoia'tael for 12 proactive points, buffing up a unit on every row by 4. Elsa's Thunder for some control and the ability to remove enemy engines, Reconnaissance for finning and to access our keycards, Golden Froth for weather clear and to add value in a long round. We never want to play those spells from hand, so we use Elven Mercenary to look up 2 of them and then play 1, depending on the situation. Through Elven Sage, we are able to replay both Aels and Thunders from our graveyard, enabling us to push even more or to play up to 6 Elsa's Thunders, enough to shake up every engine deck. To set up the board for Ael targets, we use half of Hunters and the Farseer, which buffs itself by 2 every time we buff a friendly unit. Having a Protector in hand and playing a spell will buff it, so Farseer will trigger without a friendly unit being buffed on the board. Now to our silver spells. Elsa's Double Cross enables us to pull Farseer or half of Hunter in the early game to provide Ael targets or sentries as soon as they have grown big enough. Marching Orders does the exact opposite and looks up a Mercenary or Sage if there are no more Mercenaries in the deck, enabling us to play more spells for our sentries. Mandrake creates a ton of value most of the time, but is also useful to deny some keycards off your enemy. Garrison sounds worse than it is. It creates 3 bronze or silver cards from enemy deck, of which we can choose 1. Worst case, we get a body for Ael targets, but often we can use the enemy's deck against him by, for example, creating Spotters or Peter against hand buff. Last Wish draws us 2 random cards from the deck, enabling us to play 1 of them, which is especially useful in round 3 when we already thinned out our spells and bronze cards, so the chance is very high to get our gold cards. And Nature's Gift enables you to choose any spell in the deck and play it, while Ifnay allows you to play any spell in your graveyard again. Playing Ifnay and choosing Nature's Gift enables you to look up 2 spells of your choice twice that way. Ifleen has excellent synergy with your sentries, because she lets you choose a bronze spell which you will play twice. In our case, targets are Elsa's Thunder for double removal, and Golden Froth, which comes especially handy against weather decks when all weather is baited out in a long round against a non-weather deck. Isengrim Outlaw either lets us access 1 special card of our choice in the deck, further working towards big sentries, or we use him to get bodies on the board for Ael. Creating Ida may save us from weather as well. Acclaze steals a special card from the enemy graveyard, which is poor value and buffs up our sentries as well. Renew lets us replay Fleen for even more buffs and value, or Isengrim depending on what was played already. This is the card I'm least sure about in the deck, but so far it worked really well. About the Mulligan. Cards we want to keep are all of our golds, Reconnaissance, Mercenaries, Elsa's Double Cross, and Marching Orders. The rest of the cards we want to look up or access in later stages of the game. Cards we want to get rid of are Dol Blathanna Sentries, since we need them in round 3, 1 or 2 Sages, because we need first to get spells on the graveyard, and there are spells like Elsa's Thunder, Scoia'tael, Golden Froth, so Mercenary can pull them from the deck. Our gameplay plan is pretty straightforward. This deck hates to play on blue. So much that you want to dry pass against nearly everything except decks that explode in the long run like Greatswords. Decks like those, we need to face on blue to bleed them off the good plays, otherwise we just dry pass and play on red. In the case we are on red in round 1, then everything is fine. As soon as we are on red, we need to fill the board with targets for Scoia'tael. We get half of Hunter and Farseer on the board, and then we can use Mercenaries to pull all the Aels, which we then replay with Sages. The goal of this round is to play as many spells as possible, also by chaining spells like Nature's Gift into Last Wish into a Fleen or so. The more spells, the better our round 3. If you think the enemy will stay in the round and does not play hazards, then go for a Fleen into double Gold Froth for a significant amount of points, which gets even better if Farseer is able to stick to the board. The good thing about a big Farseer is, the enemy may be forced to deal with it, becoming the target of Scourge, Mandrake, etc., which is one less removal tool for your sentries in run 3. Don't hesitate to play gold card, because we have Renew in the deck. Don't worry if there are no gold cards in your hand. By filling through your bronzes, you can utilize cards like Last Wish and Ifnay into Last Wish to access them. The ideal run 3 is a rather short one, where I drop 3 18-point sentries onto the board, therefore out-tempoing enemy cards. Our worst case scenario is that the enemy keeps cards like Scourge, Mandrake and so on, so if you can, try to stagger your sentries by pulling one with Elsa's Double Cross, for example. Now, let's look at the matchups, because some will prove more tricky than others. Greatswords. This is one of the decks where dry passing will prove fatal, mainly when they play Wild Boar of the Sea. Play into round 1 even on blue and utilize your Elsa's Thunders to entirely shut down their Greatswords. Then pass to force them to redo their setup. Coral, Mandrake, maybe even an Igni may hit us hard, therefore we want to have last play and use other cards like Eisencream as well. Veterans. Dry pass and follow the usual game plan. They may have Skelliger Storm for Burn Up Ran, so keep Golden Froth until they play it and prepare for a Mandrake and 1 Coral. Therefore, try to get a card advantage in round 2. X-Men. Another deck where dry passing is not the best choice, because they will destroy you with Weather and big X-Men. Try to bait a big chunk of Weather in round 1 and use a Fleeing with Golden Froth to override Weather in later rounds. Eisencream into Ida is also a risk I would take. Worst case, you end up with Teruviel or Kirin, so you'll always generate value. Try to remove the X-Men with your Thunders and Mandrake the Darren. Thanks to Ifnay, you even have a second Mandrake. Scoia'tael. Dry pass on blue and just follow the normal game plan. Don't play Mandrake or the Glaze may pick it up to destroy a sentry in run 3. Garrison will give you decent cards to populate your board, and Farseer may bait at some removal. Don't use Golden Froth until you've seen the Ida. Nilfgaard hand buff. Dry passing is not a bad thing, because they will finish the hand buff setting, getting you a card ahead. Try to get double Golden Froth on the board and play as long as possible. In round 3, play your big sentries and utilize double Mandrake to destroy their side of the board. A Glaze will get you another Mandrake, so manage your Mandrakes in a way that you don't take massive losses in round 2 while having enough to secure round 3. Alchemy. Dry pass and follow the usual game plan. Play your Farseer after you've seen 2 or 3 witches to make it stick, and use your Mandrake on their Calvit. A Glaze will reward you with another Mandrake you can use in one of the big buffed up units. Reveal. Remove their Mangonels with your Elsa's Thunder and just keep putting out points. When you have seen the Vanema, then they can use Golden Froth, and if they play Karate Heatwave, then Double Froth through Flame is a good counter. They may run Double Scourge for Yennefer Enchantress, so make sure to stagger your sentries in run 3. Death Wish. Dry passing is okay, as long as you can use your Froth to clear the fogs. If they start with Archespore, then just use Mercenaries and Sages to get rid of it through Elsa's Thunder. Those are good Mandrake targets because you will deny them the best Death Wish target and they can't resurrect it with the Bruise. Poulticed Machines. Dry passing is really good because as long as commandos are in the deck, they will have an awkward mulligan. Follow the usual game plan, kill the crewman with Thunder, and use Markham Ale to get out of battering ram range. Scourge is very likely, so staggering sentries is a must. Okay, and now as always, let's look at an example match. Okay, let's see. We wanna actually have Hive Hunter something here. Do we start off with, oh, actually on blue. As Spella'tael, we don't want to be in blue, right? We want to be in red. Always. Because it's such a reactive deck. And with reactive decks, you always want to be in red.
Blood and neck ends.
Okay, moves bullshit cards, 2-point units. And if Fleeing we trust, well, I hope so. It's a deck from Discord that uses Renew as alternate finisher. Yeah, it's coming from the team where it uses Discord, and I think Adam, you wanted me to play this, I guess. Let's get rid of this. Okay, still no reconnaissance. Okay, this will be interesting. Probably play swap deck. I think we could go for Eisencream just to have a renew target. Can also use Elsa's Thunder to kill our only Fleeing again and then replay it. Actually, I'm actually thinking like that we want to kill her and renew her. Because it doesn't make sense to play Isengrim. Does it? Or I go Isengrim into Garrison? I don't know. Oh, this is tricky.
No mercy!
Let's Finn. Let's go for Garrison. Okay. So we know what he's playing. He's playing this
Fine.
ambush deck. Could be Shoop as well. We'll see. Hey Green, saw your video yesterday and Terra Talk Show. It was great. Oh, thank you very much. I actually uploaded it to YouTube already, so if you want to rewatch it. And I think the talk show will be on the Team Artusa YouTube channel in the next days. Give me Heaven Hunters. Yes, there we go. You know what we do as well? We're not going to use Golden Froth because of the long round.
You annoy me.
Let's see if he plays. I'm actually thinking if we should just go for an elf. Like create an elf with Isengrim. But not with the 11-point dudes here. This gives me the Farseer.
This moment,
There you go.
I've seen it already.
And now we do
Nigh is
something
the time of the white frost
crazy.
and white light.
We play double Froth. Bam. And Farseer will be buffed now every turn as well. So we got, theoretically, 6 points per round. But now comes better, I guess, at some point.
Everything all right?
So there we go. Can be more in that kills.
Dance of death!
Could be, yes. What he's probably doing is just like this movement combo. I think it's a time for Isengrim, I guess.
The only good human is a dead human.
Try the Silver Elf. We play special card. We could go for Nature's Gift into Recon. Nature's Gift into Recon. Into her.
Have strength,
There we
my
go.
love.
All the booze. Haha, yeah. Did you play Folders Machine Ship deck? No, and like God beware, I don't want to play it actually. No, I get why it's Bavarian Beer deck. Yep. Yeah, that's the big combo. That's really awesome. I really like this combo. Yeah, last week's deck had actually featured this one. And like the Handbuff deck. I think it actually he's playing the Handbuff deck. No, he has Riot Officers. I didn't play Riot Officers, but except from that. What do? We want to fin a bit more red. Let's go for Sage.
Yes,
There
that
we go.
would fit perfectly.
Scoia'tael, yeah. So I have one more ale for the Sage. And that's the Pumpkin deck. So Pumpkin did play this?
Everything all right?
I have no idea from who it is. I just saw it on the Artusa Discord. We have one more ale in there.
Have strength, my love.
I have 13-point Farseer. If he plays Shrew, then... Oh god. Yeah, maybe I should put more units in here, actually.
Riot!
And then I need to use this to access, actually, Dol Blathanna Sentries.
Yes, that would fit perfectly.
Please don't hit Farseer. Thank you very much. 28 points, and he has... Okay, 18 points, there we go. So it's still fine. True, Scoia'tael should have Ale of Ancestors too. Yeah, but you know, you don't want to play with Ale of Ancestors. This will be decent, I guess.
Dol Blathanna!
Dol Blathanna! And then I play Thunder. Last Wish, and Ifni for another Last Wish. If I get a Glaze, it would be awesome.
Good way to bear under King Desmond.
Actually, let's play this first. Yes, a Glaze. Hey there.
You'll be fine.
Hey there, beautiful.
Kayam!
Shit. I thought it gets boosted. Damn it, my like if he has an Igni now, I'm I have a problem. Forest Child? No, no, it's not Forest Child. I'm pretty sure this is going to be too real.
Humans have no place in Broccolon.
So this gives it actually +2, or this also gives it +2, so we can think of what we want to play. Let's just play this one.
Kayadmel and Shay.
Okay, 68 points ahead. I guess that's
You annoy
fine.
me.
You know, if the deck is playable decent, I vote to make it official St. Patrick's Day deck. Damn, there you go. 70 points ahead, and we still have a Mandrake. Mandrake is 8, Mandrake is 9 here. Mandrake is 6 here. Oh, let's see.
Lie still. You've
Marching
not yet
orders, so maybe
recovered.
this will be my Mandrake target. Let's see.
Eh?
No, it won't. Okay. 71 points. I guess that's 73 points. The deck is great fitting actually. Yeah, that's the idea. So
Lovely it burns.
there we go. Not even, well, we don't know how buffed up Tarul is, but I don't think she can. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Don't forget to vote on next week's deck guide down in the comments below, and subscribe if you like what I'm doing. Also, big thanks to all my patrons who make this possible. If you're looking for more Gwent content or more in-depth Gwent guides, then I got you covered, and I'm looking forward to see you over in the next video. Thanks for watching.